Hello, everyone. Can I get a quick confirmation that I can be seen and heard? Oh, 1 second. Perfect. So, I've decided, I was trying to figure out how much longer there is on Disco Elysium, and I came to the conclusion that there is somewhere between 2 and 3.5 hours left, which means that it's splitting it into two feels like a little bit too much. And also, end of the year is coming, calendar is filling up. I've decided, and our old mod Maddie has returned to help me push through to the end. So it could be a normal length stream, could be a wee bit longer, but we are going to the end of Disco Elysium to mark the end of my regular streams. Maddie was saying that, like, oh, we should publicize that this is going to be like the end of Disco Elysium. This is going to be the end of the regular streams. Like, you know, put it out on Blue Sky, on Tumblr. But I decided not to. I was like, no. Everyone else can catch it up on the VOD or this sort of thing. Like, the end's for real ones only. You know? You all who've been with us. You all have been with us through this whole ride. So, shall we disco boogie? Snowfire169 bought a coffee, thank you. So yes, the end of our last one. Poor old Ruby shot herself, terrified of being taken in, believing that we were dirty cops, and it is not. And it became quite clear that she was not the killer. And Miss Orania Disco Dancer, well, might have lied to us about a few things. Dark water trails into the distance. There is no way out. Dramamine? +3 health. Cooking utensils. She has prepared herself porridge with bananas.
The plain red tent stands by dispassionately. It was pitched by practiced hands. She was used to camping out.
Look inside.
You see a rolled-up sleeping bag and personal belongings.
We should put her in the sleeping bag, so the rats don't get to her.
Okay. Let's carry her over here.
The lieutenant nods. There she lies, cocooned in the sleeping bag, surrounded by empty cigarette packs, books, and half-read magazines. Magazines? You should look through them. Assorted soft covers, mostly pulp horror. A motor carriage lies buried in the snow on one cover. On another, a ghost airship. You also see a collection of radio enthusiast magazines.
See anything?
Rager Monthly, Journal of Material Science. More Technological Digest. One of the magazines doesn't have images on the cover. It's not a magazine, it's a leather notebook.
A notebook.
You pocket the worn brown leather journal. She watches by, motionless.
We should read this immediately, like right now.
A well-loved journal with a brown letter cover and the brand name Schneller embossed on the back. It seems to have served as a loyal friend to a lonely traveller.
A thick journal, The cover is worn like someone used to carry it around in their back pocket. It's made of full-grain leather. The lower left corner of the back cover sports an embossed brand name, Schneller. Schneller is a stationery brand from Gottwald. She had good taste and must have taken what she recorded here seriously. The journal falls open. About 2/3 of its ruled pages have been filled. The large cursive of someone who writes quickly and confidently, perhaps too confidently. Many phrases and even paragraphs have been crossed out, with tiny corrections scrawled above and in the margins. It's a mix of logistical notes, diagrams, and personal reflections, all dated.
We could learn a lot from this.
Hard to tell exactly. It's mostly noted down in code. Looks like contact information, quantities, directions.
There could be useful information about local operations in those notes. We have a junior sergeant at my station who's good with codes. I can give this to her after we finish this.
Professionalism is his coping mechanism.
What are the diagrams of?
Esoteric radio technology. The most recent ones probably pertain to the latitude compressor, sketches, calculations of distance and density. You make out a familiar spiral shape.
Anything personal?
Short, wry observations of people and places, probably a way to pass the time on the road. Also, what appears to be attempts to sort through some difficult decisions. There are a few passages with many questions in them. Staff issues, always tough on the leadership. You smell traces of betrayal.
How far back do the entries go?
The first entry is from August 2nd of last year. It reads simply, I know my position is precarious. All I can do is make myself as useful as I can while looking for a way out. Remember, no one is indispensable.
What did she write the day Laylee died?
Nothing on March 4th. March 5th, though, well, that's bound to come back and bite me in the ass. I'm bad at this. Loyal to a fault. But that's another matter entirely. You have no idea what she means. These are personal notes. Don't expect to understand all of it.
Anything about Laputa Madre?
That name isn't mentioned as far as you can tell. Small wonder. Would you talk about Laputa Madre in your journal? You do see an M, though. Laputa Madre. M is mentioned on March 9th and March 15th. Great. M's peon is coming to town, no doubt to investigate the lynching, but also, I feel it in my gut to finally put a bullet in my head while I'm napping in my lorry or on a smoke break. Well, I won't stick around just to twist my own neck by constantly looking over my shoulder. Then again, isn't that what I've been doing ever since I got the call? Things played out just as she had feared, except you didn't shoot her. It's in you to do something like this. Kill her. Physically, at least. You could pull the trigger if you had to.
What a coincidence.
Is it? Can you be sure? What if you are secretly being manipulated by Laputa Madre as you pursue this investigation? What if he wiped your memory on purpose? On purpose? That's pretty far-fetched. Been holed up here for 3 days now. I'm used to being alone and all, but I don't know when I'll be able to leave, or if I'll be ratted out. They will rat me out, of course. I've made it a point to believe in the best in people, the boys, for example. But experience tells me, did M feel truly betrayed by me? I was feeling threatened. He'd have to know if he threatened people, they'd take measures to protect themselves. Even I know that. Economic measures, first of all. Gotta make a living, right? I can still hear his voice in the receiver. Taste the plastic. The entry ends abruptly.
What's the most recent entry?
The most recent entry is from today. It reads, "Even when I leave here, if I leave here alive, what's my next move? Staging a lynching is a crime, even if I'm not accused of murder on top of that. Forever on the run. Not really my idea of the open road. Man, I was really looking forward to winning."
I don't think she killed the mercenary. It looks like she might have been framed.
This whole thing was a detour, and a fatal one, he thinks. Don't get emotional.
So she died for nothing.
She was in plenty of trouble, even without the murder charge. Still, it's a nasty business.
Kim, am I really a Laputa Madre agent?
No, I don't think you are. Ask someone in your precinct if you want to be sure.
His trust is well placed. You aren't. You can feel it.
Then who do you think killed the merc?
Classy was the one who pointed the finger at Ruby. Perhaps she was trying to steer us away from herself, or...
But no one heard the shot.
maybe she had an accomplice. Either way, we need to keep an eye on her. One thing is for certain. We have business back in the whirling and rags. Questions to ask. We should get to it.
Ratan! Now is the time!
Time for what?
Oh, you will see. First the spirits! The blue medicinal spirits! Grab the bottle and uncork it! It is time to unleash the other world!
Wait, right now, a woman just died and you think now is a good time to party?
Ratan! Life and death are inseparable! There's a party when you're born, a party every year to celebrate that birth, and a party when you're put in the ground. Why shouldn't there be a party when you die? And besides, this isn't even about that. You have no idea what this is about. This is gonna be so off the hook. It's gonna be off all hooks.
The bottle opens with a silent, mysterious hiss. The fumes rising from its mouth are as crisp as the northern winds. Howling somewhere, lashing the boardwalk with brine and rain. An ancient warmth crawls under your skin.
Now, Bratan, take me off.
Your fingers manage to undo the oily knot, and the necktie slides off. It looks so frail sitting there in your hand, weighing almost nothing.
Now what?
Now, put me in the bottle.
But why?
Trust me! Just trust me! You and I are gonna have so much fun it should be illegal!
I suspect that it might be.
Just put me in the bottle, Bratan! I'm not gonna let you down! You and I are like the same person!
As the necktie slides into the purifying liquid, large stains of grease rise off from it and float to the surface. There, they quickly dissolve and disappear completely. Cleansed by the blue spirit fire of 98.7% pure alcohol, the fabric looks almost new again. No longer like a disgusting worm of the lower intestine, but like a colorful and deadly poisonous reef snake of the Insulindian Ocean.
So, what next?
The necktie floats in the bluish liquid with almost unearthly grace.
Necktie?
There is silence. The lieutenant has been observing you quietly all this time. He's struggling to keep silent, but finally seems to give up.
I've got to ask, what are you doing?
Okay, Kim. I didn't want to tell anyone, but my necktie has been talking to me lately.
Of course it has.
It started when I woke up in the whirling in racks. It's been talking to me ever since.
And what has the necktie been telling you, if I may ask?
It mostly urges me to party harder.
Wonderful. Very useful.
He doesn't actually believe it's wonderful.
Okay, so why did you put it in the bottle?
Because it told me to.
Right, okay. Anyway, I'm glad you told me your necktie has been speaking to you. That must not have been easy.
We're all under stress. This is turning into a great big mess. I'm not judging. Just keep it together.
Let's go.
Okay. Right. Lots of messages about being happy to be here for the last stream from both old and new members of the chat. Oh. Maddie has subscribed at tier 1. They've been subscribed for 56 months on a 56-month streak. 56 months. That's a long time. Mikey Isn't Real subscribed with Prime. Kofi from Aaron. Just a massive thank you to Johnny and all of the mods for everything you've done while the streams have been going. It's been a blast. Forever grateful for the community you've built across this and the MacGuffin streams, and have made friends who will stick with me. Thank you. Haunted Coyote subscribed with Prime. Oh, we had a hype train. And a Kofi from Solace Handspun, wishing you well in your next efforts. Yeah. And don't worry about it. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still going to be producing stuff. It's just the streams have gradually become more time than we can really justify. And every time. But I'm glad I'm ending with disco. Spirit Bomb. Equip this when times are most dire. Your spirit guide to the party scene, the horrific necktie, is floating serenely in the blue medicinal spirit. As it is still 98.7% alcohol, this necktie cocktail is extremely flammable and should be kept far away from an open flame.
Stop. Now. It is time.
For what?
Crisis. Death. You can feel it in your blue soul.
What am I supposed to do?
Your old friend has prepared you for this, at great cost to himself. Make sure you have the spirit bomb in your hand when shit goes south. You hear what sounds like an enthusiastic gurgling coming from the spirit bomb in your pocket.
I'm not sure I feel ready for what lies ahead.
Then you'd better get ready. Whatever happens, I've got your back.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm, the polished wooden handle almost fusing into your palm.
I think my hand recognizes it.
It reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. It was so long ago. This gun, Sunrise Parabellum, will be the only thing standing between you and the all-consuming nothingness that threatens to eat the world. Sheathe it and wait, Herald. It won't be long now.
I'm all out of shits to give, loincloth. Welcome to the fucking reckoning.
Put your damn gun down. People are gonna get hurt. We need to talk this through. All right?
Shut up! Not gonna talk yourself out of this, loincloth shit fuck.
This is the mercenary at the gates. His chest rises and falls under the ceramic breastplate. His fingers reach for the butt of his sidearm.
This is a misunderstanding. Nothing irreversible has happened yet. You can just return to your unit and forget all about this.
The Kypt is merciful, willing to spare us if we just forget about our murdered and humiliated commander. I think we should just kill everyone, Corty.
You are all drunk. Come to your senses. You won't gun down 7 people in the middle of the street. This isn't a frontier town or a jungle outpost.
Easy, Lizzie. Let me handle it. I know guys like these. I'm sure we can come to a peaceful agreement. Ain't that right, fellas?
He is facing overwhelmingly superior firepower, and he knows it.
Peaceful.
Nest in your abdominal cavity like a little wild mouse. The masked man's words are barely intelligible, but you can hear them.
Fuck, there's a third one. How did we miss something like this?
This third one, he is the most dangerous of them all, heavily armed. The lieutenant is genuinely worried for his life. You should consult him before getting in there.
We're out of time. This is...
The Mercenary Tribunal.
The big one is the mercenary at the gates, the scab leader.
If this turns into a firefight, we should take him out first.
A sound strategy. He's the leader.
What do we do?
My plan is not to get killed, but we have to intervene.
Stop! This is the police!
Get lost, comedian. You cops had your chance. Now it's fucking time for some justice.
I think he's calmed down a bit. No, he didn't. He's about to open fire.
So which one is it? Who's right?
He is. I was wrong.
Pig fuck!
You. You're probably gonna get killed too. I think I'm gonna kill you. I didn't think I had it in me to kill a cop.
To your left, you hear the lieutenant cock his gun.
No one is going to kill anyone. Let's just put the guns down and talk like civilized human beings.
With a wordless gurgle, the killer loads his long rifle. The leader gives a small nod to the helmeted man. Suddenly, the blue medicinal spirit in your hand seems to have a pulsating glow. It feels enticing somehow.
All right, end game. Light me on fire and throw me in his face.
Wait, it's a good thing you have an anthropomorphic petrol bomb. It really is. But you have to soften him up first. Present an argument. Even if it comes to a fight, it's a good idea to get under his skin first. I don't know about this getting under his skin. What if he gets under yours? I'm barely keeping your hand from trembling here.
Listen, they didn't do it.
Yeah? Who did then?
It was someone else. Someone who's not here now.
How fucking convenient.
He was shot from a great distance. A sniper did it.
You think I'm fucking stupid, cop? What if I just shot one of your pals here, right now, huh? How about the kid? Tell me, the magic fucking sniper one more time.
Listen, please. This cop and this drumhead court marshal won't decide who.
He's gonna do it. He's gonna shoot her.
Think, why doesn't he believe me?
The Hardy Boys confessed to hanging him, all together. Titus said we took him out back and hanged him. He said it loud, in a public place.
Listen, he was shot. He wasn't hanged. Listen to me.
You're lying. DePaul heard it.
A Kiel Model 40 revolver, 8 rounds in the barrel. The gun slowly sways in his hand from the inebriation.
You heard wrong. She and these men have been helping us find the shooter.
The hanging was only a cover-up. Listen.
Fucking liars.
The shot rings in your ears, a low, tinny ring. Then the Hardy Boys yell something. The young woman stands and looks behind her. The shot has flown over her head, crashing a small pane of the glass window behind her.
I missed.
I know what I heard, Corty. They said they killed him. They said it was a good way to end a Sunday night.
That doesn't sound good. You need to change the topic now, or there will be another shot. Dangerous. Ask about him first. You don't want personal facts about his dead friend coming out of your mouth. He has to start it.
I knew you weren't a goddamn scab leader.
Yeah, I don't fucking act so well. Laylee had a hard-on for making faces for you natives. Fucking food aid shit. That shit is done now. Trigger time.
Who are you, Corty?
Sergeant Major Raoul Cortiner, reporting in to burn this fucking mud hut to the ground.
As he moves, the interlocking pieces of his armor click, softly. Click, click, click. The realization comes to you, like a picture puzzle coming together. His name is Raoul Cortiner. The dead man's name is Elise Cortiner. He's brothers with the deceased. No, probably foster brothers. Elise was put into a foster home, remember?
For killing, maiming, and humiliating our commanding officer. You're all sentenced to death by lead.
His parents left him in a fucking leaf compactor.
Who? Laylee?
Yeah. When he was small. Just an infant.
We researched him. We contacted the ICP and looked at his birth records. That was in there. And other things.
They fucking put Laylee in a leaf compactor, and now these cunts finished the job.
There's real anguish in his voice. A drunken sadness suddenly engulfs him. Memories.
It's a mindfuck, Corty. He wasn't put in a leaf compactor. They're making it up to fuck with us. Major, permission to.
Open fire. We can't have that. Interfere now.
He had blue eyes, didn't he? Your colonel.
Baby blue, yeah. Like someone fucked up and put a baby's eyes on a grown man. was creepy, but bitches like that shit, I guess. Or, I don't know what bitches like. I just know how to mow down cloths.
Benital 41. That really happened, didn't it?
Our colonel did what he had to do. It was either one cunt or 100 of them. Rude here.
In your ship pipes, right in the fucking...
He likes to fire mortars at random coordinates. Wipe out mud huts like that. When he gets bored, Lady knew how to command.
He was a good commander. I can see you miss him.
Oh yeah, he would have commanded this fuckhell way better than I did. But that didn't happen, because Hayseed, Bill, and Kipty the Kipt here fucking murdered him. Had him stink the village up for 2 weeks after. And you fucks did nothing.
Listen, man. We told you we...
Told us what? What did you say? Who said that? Tattoo fuck. You'll die first.
Listen, you Laley, everyone says good things about him. He was a talker.
Fuck do you mean, talker?
We've heard testimony. People say he was charismatic, a nice guy to be around.
Yeah, he liked to chat up the natives. Share leaflets. Squeeze a bit of kip-tass here and there. Great fucking idea that turned out to be. If Laley was here, he would spare the lot of you. Maybe shoot one for sure. But me, I'm not a big fan of public affairs, clay monkey. I'll gun every one of you down for what you did.
Ready to open fire, Major. At your command.
This one isn't used to being suited this long. She's uncomfortable. We'll open fire just to hurry things along.
Your colonel did not deserve to go out like that. I promise. I will find his killer.
Find his killer. Cop. His killer stands right there. Shitting his pants. And you're standing in the way, protecting them. I know what this tactic is, Silo Sam. You're gonna die for them. Right here.
Big talk, but that leaf compactor won't leave his mind anytime soon. It's a small thing, but it got him off center.
Where is Classia? She can explain this.
Who the fuck is that?
Classia, the woman upstairs, where is she?
She left!
Unarmed, hunched, but keeping it together.
God, what the hell are you doing here?
What am I doing? My fucking establishment is under fire! You know how much windows cost?
What do you mean, she left?
She left! Her room's cleaned out! Right before these assholes showed up!
We should have arrested her.
You can feel how upset he is with himself. Just for a second. Then the fear takes over and he's back in the moment.
Hey, Bushman! Your little cunt isn't gonna help you out of this one!
She's gone. Forget about it now. Concentrate on this.
Who is that? I didn't know you had a third guy.
Rude. Rude is the killer. Rude, the killer. Hohen Cloven. He doesn't talk much.
All of you cunts inside out.
The killer.
The gunner. The raddest. The killer. What do you think he does?
There, on the rim of Owen Clerven's helmet, you count little stick figures. 19, 20, 21.
I'm a killer too.
You're a tit-sucking pig. I'm gonna show you, killer.
What are we waiting for? Let's blow that pig fucking mouth off his face.
Lance Corporal, just fucking shut up and wait for your order.
He is not used to commanding or leading. He feels uncomfortable. He'd rather shoot to kill. Alright, here we go. This is an illegal tribunal. Grenell would never sanction this. Who's the commanding officer? Take your pick. Really, none of this looks like it's going to do anything but piss him off. You only have time for one argument. Choose wisely.
Just to be clear, are you officially in charge of this unit after the death of your colonel?
Me? I fucking told you. I'm a Crenel Major with 15 years of live combat experience. When my colonel gets hanged by clay monkeys, I lead the platoon on a retaliation strike.
So you are the highest ranking of the three of you?
Nah, I just have the biggest gun.
Technically, the other man has the biggest gun, but we're beyond that now.
Hold on. What's the highest rank in Crenel?
King Reaper.
As the leader of this group, reconsider your actions. This does not need to end in bloodshed.
You're right. But you see, I want it to end in bloodshed.
Okay, it's not much, but he's thinking about something else, and his hand is off the gun. This did something.
Let's go.
With a crash of shattering glass and a terrible roar, the fire draws in oxygen. The bomb hits the mercenary in the chest, swallowing him in flames as he staggers backward. In the fiery inferno, you see your tie, coiling around the man's neck. It is no longer horrific, but beautiful and pure.
I only ever wanted you to have fun, Harry.
Wait! I don't even know your name!
My name, should you know it, is Joopson AS Mens Fashion model, Colourful Tie Catalogue number J327.
I know so little about you. How did we meet?
One day a sad man walked into a clothing store. He looked really darn like he hadn't had fun in years. He needed someone to show him how to rock and roll again. Joopson AS Catalogue number J327 shone on the tie rack, trying to get his attention. The sad man picked it up and put it on. He looked at himself in the mirror, didn't smile.
Nothing will ever heal me, but at least I'll have a funny tie.
And from that moment on, we rode together. The rest of your clothes were still normal back then, but we took care of that soon enough.
Normal police officer clothes just don't go well with a multi-pattern disco tie made of 98.7% pure flammable polyester.
Did we have any fun?
Truthfully, not a lot. I did everything a multi-pattern necktie can do to help a man. I mean, I tried to get you to do all the fun things. Drink beer, drink wine, drink cider. Go to parties with young people around and drink beer and cider. Do drugs too, so you don't fall asleep. You had some fun, but not enough to heal you.
What's wrong with me?
Your heart is broken, Bratushka, and it cannot be mended. Believe me, I've tried.
Am I going to stay like this forever?
No, you're going to be mowed down by gunfire from the two remaining marks. So no, not forever.
Who broke my heart?
You both did, Ratan. Deep down, you know it was both of you.
No, it was her mostly. Don't lie to him, Necktie.
What's going on with that guy?
This guy, well, his face has cracked open into a scream of terror. It looks like he's performing some sort of a shamanistic dance that requires you to be on fire. Yeah, his body contorts in a very disturbing manner. There's no mincing words with this one. He's dying a horrible, painful death as you're talking to your tie in your head. Smells like a steak on the grill, the burning flesh in your nostrils.
May you find peace in death.
It's good to see you still have capacity for compassion, my friend. Deep down, you are a good man.
Goodbye, necktie.
See you on the other side. Harry, for God's sake! Watch out!
To your right, the killer raises his rifle and takes aim at you. His moves are steady, but the long barrel of the rifle sways slowly. An Easter AR-FA7, built for taking out light armored vehicles. It will devastate you.
Kim, where is Kim?
From the corner of your eye, you see the lieutenant raise his pistol and aim it at Rude. He's trying to find a straight line of sight before the rifleman can take you out. In the background, the leader is still on fire.
Blink, think!
You stare down the barrel of the gun. You see Rude's mask behind it, his eyes in the slit of the helmet, like a camera lens, focusing on you. 0.4 seconds remain. There are 6 little black dots in the tip of the barrel, like a honeycomb. This is a knock cannon. It shoots 6 rounds in one pull of the trigger. Is there anything we could use to protect this frail body? That gun will tear us to pieces. He's drunk. Drunk fighters overcorrect. Move right, he aims further right. Get him to overshoot. A low shot rings. You feel a tapping, like rain on your chest plate. Heavy drops of rain. Then the sound of dice rolling as the cuirass distributes the shot evenly from plate to plate. You got hit. The armor took most of it, but still your ribcage burns. Feels like blood is slowly seeping into your lungs.
God, please.
He's aiming for the eye slot in Rude's helmet. An extremely difficult shot. 2 shots ring at once. One from the lieutenant's pistol, and the other from DePaul's. It's aimed at the lieutenant, but it misses. You hear a scream behind you.
Kim, did he hit the rifleman?
Blood gushes from the helmet's eye sockets as Rude staggers back, disoriented. The sounds coming from his helmet are not human. An unbelievable shot from the lieutenant.
Who screamed?
Glenn, dying in a puddle of blood behind you. His mangled torso has 2 gunshot wounds. Blood gushes out of them like red geysers. Oh God, watch out. You see 2 crazed eyes stare at you through the burning meat and the flames. With his face boiling off, the man raises his pistol at you. Then he squeezes the trigger. The look of vengeance framed by melting skin. This is the last thing he will do on Earth. But he will do it. He will end you. Here it comes. Death. You simply blink, then something inside your pelvis explodes. Your entire lower body is on fire and your legs can't support you. You fall down like a rag doll. The pain is too immense to scream. It pushes the air out of your lungs. Everything goes dark, a distant blur as you recede into it.
Listen, through the darkness and the pain.
The Hardy Boys are screaming, fighting, dying. Someone jumps over you. Nearby gunfire shatters glass.
Stop! The cop! Protect the cop! He's down!
Nothing. A persisting darkness. Dancing lights of pain. Distant shadows cast by them. Like a hellish play.
You're bleeding out.
No one wants to do anything with me. No one wants to party with me.
Stay with me.
This is a stupid world.
Yes, keep talking. You hear me? Stay awake.
But you can't. It's so hard. Your eyelids grow heavy, and the sounds ever more distant. And a cold comes over you. The lieutenant, too, is somewhere far away, almost gone, when suddenly you sense something behind him. A slender white shadow towering. Someone stands there, raising her pistol at him. The lieutenant does not see it. He's pushing down on your wound with both hands.
No! Kim!
No, you say, and hand out your firearm to him. Your hand trembles, and your eyes are full of fear. That's all it takes. There is no room for hesitation. The lieutenant moves like a spring unloaded. He grabs the gun from your bloody hand and fires behind him. You hear a faint scream, a woman's. Then the sound disappears, like someone pressed stop on the tape. The woman is gone. So is Kim. Then the whole world.
This is death. One more door, baby. One more door.
No! Let me back into the fight!
The fight? There is no fight. The fight is over. It was lost 1,000 years ago. You have laid here forever. Keep falling deeper. Take the door. He's not taking it. His body is not taking it. Oh God, no. He's not disintegrating. He's swelling up instead. Over the hours, hurting, moaning in his sleep, and rotting, and being disinfected, and smelling of drugs, and feeling saliva in his mouth, drifting in painkillers, thrashing in his wound sleep.
He can't go. Not before the case is solved. There is a radio in the distance. A radio of the world. Playing sounds. Good morning, Elysium. Soon you will return to the world.
Hours turn to days. Soon we will get up again and go through it again. Finally we know what the infernal engine was outside. The clarion call. It was him. He is the infernal engine. He never stops. He only gets worse.
You see the lieutenant's familiar shape in the orange jacket. It turns double, then triple, from the pain.
Kim.
Sunrise, Parabellum.
What did you say? Sunrise.
Sunrise, Parabellum. Sunrise, prepare for war. It's an old revolutionary saying.
My gun is engraved on it.
Cops like it.
Is it war today?
The gates of the harbor are boarded up. The streets are a little more empty. Apocalyptic violence is yet to erupt, I am relieved to say. I think we may have held it off, for now. Barely.
Ouch.
That's right. Ouch, indeed.
Her room, it's It's clean.
Mr. Gart cleaned it. It took him an entire day.
How long have I been out?
2 days, in and out. You've been up enough to take Dramamine and curse. And drink water.
How bad am I hurt?
Reasonably bad. You were shot in the left quadriceps. That's your thigh. It appears no major arteries were nicked. The bullet was removed and a bacterial infection treated with mercurochrome. The bruising in your shoulder is negligible. The armor took the brunt of the fire.
Can I walk?
We will see.
If it's possible, then by pure willpower alone, you are going to have to become a psycho-locomotor.
I'm a psycho-locomotor.
Good. You'll need to be. Whatever that is.
Has anyone from my station been to see me?
No.
A man and a woman sit in the front seat of an armored motor carriage. The woman is driving. The man lights a cigarette. Jean Vicmer is his name. The asphalt vanishes under the wheels of the machine. Ahead, harbor cranes rise to the sky. Back to that shithole, he says.
Isn't that strange?
I called your station after the fight. The injury was logged in. They told me they've sent officers to join you on the site.
Odd. You haven't seen any, have you?
I'm sure they're worried about you.
If not my station, then who treated me?
I did.
Thank you.
No need.
Are you hurt?
Not very. I have a concussion from that woman beating me with the butt of her gun. I tried to not move too much. Things would be worse if you didn't warn me. Thank you. I did not see her coming. Stupid of me.
Okay.
Easy now. How are you?
The lieutenant looks at you, teetering on your feet.
What happened?
What happened? You threw an improvised petroleum bomb at the major. A firefight ensued.
Is he dead?
Very. He died in the hospital.
A blood-stained killer.
As retaliation, the rifleman tried shooting you. He hit the cuirass. I heard it go off. I was looking for a clear line of sight to him.
He sounds a tiny bit sorry he did not find it before you got hit.
I shot and wounded him, while Glenn took a bullet in the spine. It was meant for me. He did not survive.
This is not the first person to die in his place. He goes on.
Titus, Fat Angus, and Theo charged. Angus and Theo did not make it. They both died before they made it to intensive care. Titus survives. So do Alain, and the musician. I forget his name.
Eugene?
Yes, he's still alive too. You were bleeding out by then. I think you said that no one wants to party with you, and you warned me. I was able to disarm one of them, the Pole, before she got the jump on me.
Thank you.
I killed her, and that's what happened.
I thought you only smoked one a day.
This is the one.
And they're all dead. All three of the contractors.
The Pole was the last to die. Evrard had their bodies returned to Crenel for a funeral. The company is yet to retaliate.
Why?
Because we deterred them? Or Joyce did? Maybe the harbor in full lockdown is too costly a target. Or maybe they are simply taking their time and will attack soon. I don't know.
How many casualties on the Union side total?
4. Glenn, Theo, Shanky, and Angus. The fat one, he took a lot of bullets.
And that's
all.
It's a total shit show, Kim.
Yes, officer. 7 people are dead. It's not a success.
+1. Ruby.
But what's done is done. The violence is cold enough. The Hornets did not get into the beehive. The worst scenario has not materialized. Yet. And we are still alive. Both of us.
He did not expect you both to survive once you stepped between those two armies. His smoking, his hunched back. You have it worse, but he took a real beating. That cigarette has medicinal purposes.
the piss jacket, Kim. You took it off.
Yes. The joke wasn't funny anymore. I took it off.
The close proximity of death must have made the lieutenant contemplate his life choices. He's done with the jacket.
Ouch.
It's not ouch time yet. You just got the Dramamine pill an hour ago. Wait until it wears off.
Dramamine. Then it's not that bad. Neither surgical nor organ damage bad, but still under the counter bad.
What happens now, Kim?
I honestly don't know.
But I don't know either.
We can't talk to Everard. The harbor is in lockdown. Everyone in there is outside our grasp now. And Joyce has left too.
Joyce is gone.
Yes, she left yesterday morning. To meet the board of Wild Pines. Or that is what I've heard. There's a pin somewhere in the machine that keeps Connell from sending in a death squad. Maybe it's her. Maybe she kept her hand. Either way, Ruby's gone. And Classio too. We really should have arrested her, you know?
Who did it then, Kim? Who killed the hanged man?
I don't know. I think the theory you presented, it's someone else, outside our circle of suspects, was right. It's better be. Everyone within the circle is either dead or gone. Honestly, I think our investigation has not produced a single credible suspect.
The fucking Maybells, Kim. The flowers.
What?
This one, remember?
Every piece of garbage in the city is not connected to the case. You don't have to keep everything.
He's wrong.
No, Kim. Every piece of garbage in this city is connected to the case.
Okay.
What about a hole in the out wall? Someone was checking her out.
I don't know. That's been there for years.
The goddamn footprints!
Yes. God curse the footprints. Not solving the case for us. Au diable.
There's still a 28% possibility the shot came from a distance.
We should go upstairs, rethink the ballistics in situ. I agree with this. What else?
See? There's that. You can do ballistics.
There were all these old bunkers and weapon caches, Revolutionary era.
We could find thousands more if we wanted. All of Revachol is full of them.
But they seemed so mysterious.
I can't believe they're fucking useless.
No need to be melodramatic.
It's simple. We have to locate communism. Communism killed him.
I'm afraid we may not be able to locate communism, Detective, on account of it being dead.
Communism is making a massive comeback, Kim.
Ideology does not have anything to do with the murder investigation at hand. I'm sorry, it does not.
The miracle hasn't happened yet. It's not over yet.
He does not know what to reply. Looks out of the window, then back at you. It's morning outside, you think.
This is because I'm Laputa Madre's peon, isn't it?
Don't be narcissistic. Half the cops in Revachol West are his peonies. Even if you are, it is not a decisive factor in this case.
That does make some sense.
You know what I think about solving crimes?
He arches his brow. The ceiling fan patiently spins overhead.
Solving crimes is hard.
It really is very hard.
That concussion must be making him dizzy.
You're not ready to give up, are you?
No. Are you ready to limp?
I'm ready.
Good. Where do you want to limp to?
A gust of wind blows in from the bay. The duraluminum box around you vibrates imperceptibly. A familiar code, a red thread on the roof upstairs. Taut, plucked like a string by the gust.
We should check Miss Catherine Alassia's room upstairs.
Why not? Another look at the window, perhaps? The one he was shot through. I don't know. I can't think of anything better.
You see gleaming white enamel. No bottles inside. Look, the door is open. You can walk right into Kim's room. Newly replaced glass, shining in the morning light. You hear traffic outside. Back in the world again. This Stereo 8 player has been reunited with its right speaker. Right, that was a big, long, heavy section, so I'm going to check for Ko-fis and such. Oh, quite a lot. Ko-fi from Mikey. Hey there, one last Ko-fi. I'm sad the regular streams are ending, but glad to have been here for the last few months. One day I'll watch the VODs and finally understand the game, but just hanging out in chat has been a truly lovely experience and a highlight of my week. Thank you all. Well, thank you for being here. It's been lovely to have everyone. Uffit Molotov. It's how terrible Necktie would have wanted to go. It is. Ko-fi from Honeybee Charm. Final Ko-fi for a final stream. I'm sad to see things end, but pleased that I was here, even if I wasn't here for long. This community has been so welcoming, and I've met so many lovely people here. Thank you, Johnny and the mods, for creating this space. I wish everyone the best. Monique Sooner bought a coffee. A Black Bat. I would have loved to give a Ko-fi, but hey, I bought his book. Yeah, that works too. Depending on which version you buy, buying a book is the equivalent of probably a £1 or £2 Ko-fi donation, but it is also super useful in terms of number of books sold, which is a very important metric for an author. It's Bandcamp Friday. We are currently me and Sash are currently trying to carve out a little bit of time to do a third volume of Spectral Tales. We want Sash involved because one of the stories we want to do is the Yellow Wallpaper, which Sash really wants to read. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I know I've been saying I'm doing a third one for ages, but any day now. But if you weren't aware, I have a couple of small collections of 5 sort of old ghost stories read by me just on I think it's johnnysims.bandcamp.com that is available to buy, so check that out on Bandcamp Friday. I get all of it. Mikey isn't real. Someone in chat once suggested listening to the disco soundtrack, and it's been my go-to reading music ever since. The Disco Elysium soundtrack is so fucking good. I mean, it is like, Sea Power, formerly British Sea Power, is great. I'm more into their post-rock side than their like rock side. I've recently got Man of Iran on vinyl, which good shit. But I love it. That the piece of music that plays during that confrontation, Krenel Downwell Sonata Sensor, is one of my favorite pieces, and the tension is so pure in it. Kofi from Laura. Hello, last stream. Very happy and a little sad to be here for the end. Thank you for everything. I'm trying to come up with something interesting to say, and all I can think of is that I finished my first big knitting project today, and it's ugly, but I love it very much. That's wonderful. Congratulations. And, I don't know. I love an ugly knitting project. I'm proud of you. Kofi from Akuma. What an exciting week. The final disco stream, Rusty Fears release, and I'm graduating university a semester early. Good lord. Congratulations. Crossing my fingers I get into a good psych PhD program. I hope you enjoy streaming today, and make sure to take some time to rest afterwards. You've earned it. I'll do my best, but I'll be honest, rest is... I should be able to rest around Christmas. That's the plan. Kofi from Dalanatelli. Happy Friday, and thank you for all the wonderful streams. I'm planning a trip to the UK, and I was curious if MacGuffin & Co has any convention mainstays or events around August I could swing by while there. August. Tough to say. The main mid-year one we do is UK Games Expo, obviously, which is in June. And the two big ones are June, UK Games Expo and Dragon Meet, which are June and November. But when was Tabletop Scotland this year? Although that said, Tabletop Scotland is, depending on where you're going, in the UK, like Scotland might be a harder or easier one to get to. Tabletop Scotland was early September, so check when that is, because if they move it slightly earlier, it might trip into August. Also, if you're around Manchester, have a look at Dungeons and Flagons, because they often run events or like weekenders, and we try to attend where we can because it's a local thing, even if we're not like actually selling or exhibiting. Or even, what a way to break the tension, Necktie. Yeah. Red Dead Zombie subscribed at tier 1. They subscribed for 5 months on a 5-month streak. Thank you very much. And the Centre Kofi. Hi Johnny, can't stick around consistently tonight because I'm visiting relatives, but thanks for the fun streams. You've been with me as I change jobs, go through stage 1 of IVF treatment, and discover TTRPGs for the first time thanks to you and Sash. Call of Cthulhu sure is a blast. It is a blast, isn't it? Dreer Dairy. Oh my god, OMG, I've never seen this bit before, but I love it. Yeah, the Tribunal is so the first time I went for the Tribunal, I didn't have the spirit bomb. I didn't get the spirits, so I just had my gun. And the only thing I knew was I had heard that it is possible to lose Kim at some point. And I was like, oh shit, this is when I can lose Kim. Oh my god. And my hand-eye coordination was not very high, and the shooting him option is a lot trickier numerically, statistically, than the spirit bomb, which meant that I was like looking everywhere in that, like it was so tense. I was like, I cannot miss. I need to look and just going through that tree, desperately trying to like find as many little bonuses and +1s as I could before he snapped and started shooting, and it was just the most tense I've ever been in a video game. It was fantastic. Go from Red Dead Zombie. I'm coming to Dungeons & Dragons next weekend, partly to buy all the MacGuffin & Co games, but mainly to play Cyberpunk for the first time. I hope you both have a restful Christmas, and I hope to catch a spooky tale sometime this Christmas. Please give pets to the best cats. We absolutely will. And look forward to seeing you there, and I hope you have a good time playing Cyberpunk. So Cyberpunk is not actually I've played a lot of Cyberpunk RPGs. I've never actually played the original Cyberpunk, But from what I hear, it's a real good time. Poikaboo, not very, just a concussion. Kim, please. Kim. Harem Corkor, I haven't played DE myself, and I don't think I'll ever be able to play it without hearing Johnny in my head. You're very welcome. Kofi from Alia Baxter. One last Kofi, thanks for all your work and the inspiration you have given me. These streams have been amazing and got me through more than a few things, including quite a memorable Rome trip. Can't wait for the next book and the next season of Protocol. Kofi from Super Andiness. Glad to catch the last stream and hoping for a happy holiday season for you all. Good luck with all future endeavours. Kofi from Freya Moonlight. One more Kofi for the stream. It's been a blast. Kofi from Jay. I am very glad to have caught this stream. Thank you for all you do. R.I.P. the necktie, and I am very excited to check out your horror stories. Kofi from Pigeon. Happy Friday. One last Kofi and just wanted to say thanks, I guess. Hope you and Sasha have a great weekend. And Kofi from Jen Martini 1. Yet another final Kofi for the final stream. I shall miss ignoring work to watch you play games and talk to chat. Cheers, Jen Martini. Oh, what a lovely series of messages. Thank you all. But we've still got one more, maybe you could call it two more, sequences to play in this game, and they're quite something. The alarm is set for 6:50 a.m. Medicinal supplies on the cupboard. Mercurochrome, a scalpel, antibiotics.
These papers bear the stamp of the RCM. They appear to be fragments of the lieutenant's paperwork, half finished. You may have notes on this and other recent cases.
I had Garth open the door to your room. You were running a low bacterial fever the first night.
Thanks for keeping this thing alive a little longer.
It would have been easy were it not for my concussion. We both got lucky, considering the odds we faced. Let's go.
Ouch, that leg hurts. Maybe if you don't run, it'll be okay? Looks like she left something on the table.
Next to the stack of bills, you see a note. A few lines jotted down in large, uneven handwriting, just as the writer was about to rush out the door. I'm sorry, I fucked everyone over. P.S. I didn't kill him. P.P.S. Gift upstairs.
A gift?
What will this gift be?
I am not drawing my gun, yet, but I don't like gifts.
He says he's not, but his hand moves instinctively toward his holster as he studies the note. Just don't walk into another radio trap, okay? Relax. Not everyone is out to trap you.
Seems like she left in a hurry.
It's hardly surprising.
You see the yard below. The corpse is no longer there. A red thread, made of nylon, leads out the room and onto the roof.
You see the same two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman, only now a red thread bisects the room, pointing from the antenna outside to the cupboard on the wall.
This is ballistics. She's left a trajectory for us.
A ray of backward motion explodes from his mouth to the roof outside, A prime, to then widen into a radius of locations in Martinez, B prime, B double prime, and B triple prime.
Where does the thread lead?
It suggests the bullet came from the extreme upper quadrant of possible angles, from a point beyond the roof. B triple prime. The island in the bay.
Is she trying to tell us the shot came from the islet?
Unless she thinks the perpetrator was standing on the ring antenna. That is where the thread seems to point.
There are ruins on that islet. A sunken sea fort. I saw it through the coin-operated viewer.
I remember.
How did she know how to do this?
She was there that night. She would have known precisely where the bullet hole was in the glass.
She had a long time to think about it after, standing on that roof, staring at the glass.
It also looks like there may be more to her skill set than we know. The question is, should we trust her?
This is her way of saying she's sorry.
I find that hard to believe. But at this point, what difference does it make?
This is also the only point of origin we haven't ruled out yet.
So it is.
For a second he seems tired.
You seem unenthusiastic.
I just haven't gotten a lot of sleep these past few days.
He doesn't really believe this will yield anything.
Maybe we need to go to the island.
He is trying to justify it to himself. There, across the grey water, amidst crumbling concrete, a birch tree, and the half-sunken ruins of a flak tower.
I remember an anti-aircraft gun, or the ruins of one on the island, from the coin-operated viewer.
Could be the makings of a sniper's nest.
Why not? Military fortifications are made for that kind of thing.
I don't have anything to say. This is just something we have to do, Kim.
I understand.
He will. He has it in him.
I'm going to the island. Are you in?
Of course. I'm in. How do we get there? Joyce Messier had a sloop, but she's gone.
Liliane, the net picker, she's tarring her boat.
Ah, yes, of course. The village. Let's go.
Oh, you're up. It's good to see you back on your feet. Did you like your room? I cleaned it for you.
I did, thank you. Big improvement.
You're welcome. I thought it would be nice for you to wake up in a clean place after you, let's be fair, defended this establishment and its clientele from gunfire. I give credit where credit is due, and that was a crazy move. Crazy effective. Petroleum bomb. Never seen anything like that. I was there until it struck him. Crawled inside then. Bullets started flying. Anyway.
He really wants you to realize that he was also on the balcony looking by. In the danger zone, so to say.
I wish you a quick recovery. Also, you and your partner are staying here free now. This establishment supports cops. The stay is free, the drinks are not. It just felt I needed to specify that.
Where did everyone go?
Oh, you know, people don't tend to stick around after shootouts. Turns out they're not good for business.
Okay, so I have to mention when it happened, you were right out there on the balcony.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. That's because I'm a bad ass.
It really took courage. Don't pick at him. He nods back at you, even more stoically. Just two badass men nodding stoically. Make that three. The lieutenant is nodding too, hands crossed.
What happened to the man with the sunglasses?
I don't remember everyone who comes here, and many people wear sunglasses inside lately. Must be a fad.
Alright, thanks.
No problem. They'll come back. They always do.
Goodbye.
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
The theme on that pinball machine is a standard royalist theme, used on everything from pinball cabinets to full-flavor cigarettes.
What are its hallmarks?
Clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, imagine a yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned on it.
I'd rather know more about the world of today.
The contemporary period stands still. The fated carousel of progress that doomed the royalists is itself winding down. Our time is decelerating into what no one knows. Seeing you approach, the bruised man raises his bear in welcome.
Crazy motherfucker. Didn't think you had that fury in you. But I guess I've misjudged a lot of people lately. There I was, thinking, where are we gonna find a tin opener large enough for those cans? Then Capo Loco shows up and just sets a man on fire. Impressive shit, Copper. None of us would be breathing right now if it wasn't for... I guess what I'm trying to say here is, thank you.
This is big. It's as big of a thank you as Titus Hardy can muster under any circumstances.
Now, how can I help you?
What's going to happen to the Hardy boys now?
I guess I'll take a closer look at our union members. There's bound to be some ambitious fellows there who'd love nothing more than advancing social democracy by busting some heads. Might even ask Tibbs if he's tired of replacing windows and maybe wants to have some fun with his brother. Anyway, don't you worry. As long as Titus Hardy's standing, there will be Hardy boys.
I'm sorry about the people you lost.
Theo was old. I think he'd be pretty happy with the way he went. Never could imagine him withering away on a sickbed. But Angus, he was just a stupid kid. Didn't realize the mess he'd gotten into. Trusted me. Still, the balls on that kid. Went down fighting for someone else's shit like a fat, angry bear.
Here it comes. The last one is the worst one. He only deals with it by drinking copious amounts of 8% beer.
And Glenn was my friend. Best I've ever had. I'd love that crazy homo like my own brother. We're all fucked without him. But what do? This job is shit.
Hold on, where's that Shanky fella?
Dennis, that poor little rat is dead too. I always thought he'd run, but no, he stayed. Stupid, brave fella.
He didn't like him. That only makes it worse.
They were good people. Sorry it went like that.
Well, yeah. Memento mori. Right.
So yeah?
Is it time to cook yet?
Yeah, it can be.
It's gonna be 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's time to cook.
Yeah, probably about.
You want me to wait a bit?
Give it another 15.
I'll give it 15 minutes and then I'll cook.
Memento
Hello,
mori,
everyone.
or
Sorry, that was Sasha.
Jesus
We're trying to
Christ,
coordinate
is
cooking.
a slogan various religious orders have thrown around since the dawn of mankind to emphasize the vanity of earthly life and the transient nature of all earthly pursuits. In essence, it means one should live virtuously in this life to live better in the afterlife.
Yeah, totally. Totally.
Absolutely. Today, I'm going to get drunk, eat good food, and bed a good-looking guy. 'Cause tomorrow, a motor carriage might run me over.
Or you might die of a heart failure or syphilis.
Hey, fuck you for ruining a beautiful idea.
Do you know what happened to Classia?
Don't know? Don't care. I'll be glad if I never see that fucking woman again.
Even after all that hell, he's still bitter about her?
Same here, man.
He shrugs and tries to look uninterested. His clenched jaw says otherwise. If anything, it's another score for him to settle one day. It'll have to wait for now.
So long, fellas. Be good so I don't have to come back here again.
Take care, coppers. You two look after yourselves now. Death passed on you today, but men don't get that lucky twice.
Copo loco. And normal cop, I guess. Good luck in Shamrock. Scars made the best tattoos, they say.
Thanks for getting involved, guys. Not a lot of cops would step into that line of fire, but you did.
And if you ever feel like the uniform is holding you back, I've got a few vacancies. You'd make one hardy boy, copper.
And Titus Hardy himself would make a good officer. That man was born to lead.
The LCM could really use a man like you, Titus. Think about it.
I will, Capo. That's a promise. Now scoot, 'cause the Hardy boys got some mourning and drinking to do.
Take it easy on the drink. The danger has not passed. This town needs you on your feet.
Good point, Beano Claude. We'll keep the vol under 12% tonight.
The graffito has been painted over the traces of the fight that took place here. It smells of blood and heavy fuel oil. This was Cindy the Skull.
Looks like Cindy the Skull finally found the words for her masterpiece.
The lieutenant crouches, touching the fuel oil with his finger.
Looks like it, yes. This is still fresh. It wasn't here yesterday.
I smell heavy fuel oil.
And blood. Some of it is even yours.
Heavy fuel oil. Isn't that flammable?
What are you trying to imply, Fingers?
You could Buy some smokes, light up a ciggy and throw it in there, you know, just to see what happens. See if it's flammable. It's better that way. Safer.
Is this about the questions again?
A colourful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall, inviting you closer. The bottles wink at you in the light. The smokes too glitter in their wrapping. It's like looking into a kind of heaven. Your knees are weak. There, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol. The beauty, the truth.
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health, but I guess you already know that.
Don't ask, don't look, don't do anything here. Just go away. Get back to work.
Give me Astra cigarettes.
Here you go, mister.
The graffito has been painted over. This was Cindy the Sky.
Step back, Lieutenant.
The fuel oil catches fire immediately with an ominous hiss. A bright orange flash across the surface of the letters. Black smoke rises from the burning message. What if the words are not directed at the people of Martinez, or even the coalition aerostatics above the city? They're meant for something above even those.
Disco Elysium.
The lieutenant has taken a small step back. He looks at your face illuminated by the flames and nods silently. Then the fire falters. The flames warmed him too. Not at all in a bad way.
Let's go to that island.
Slowly, the flames subside, the fuel burning out. The air still smells of mazout and springtime.
Officer, what happened? You're limping. Why are you limping? You look terrible.
She sounds almost disappointed with you, reprimanding you for falling and hurting your knee.
Some people hurt me.
Is this from the shooting in town? We heard gunshots. Not that we don't hear gunshots all the time, but they were closer than usual.
There was an exchange of fire on Rue de Saint-Guylaine. It's nothing to be worried about, madame.
You should see the other guys. They're all dead.
So you're a killer? That's good, I guess. I guess. Better than being dead.
Most cops are killers.
Aye. I bet they are. The good ones, at least.
I have a question for you.
Of course. Can I help you with something?
I need to get to that island.
That won't be a problem. It's wind still and the tar just dried. We've got 2 days of relative sunshine ahead.
Can we borrow your boat?
If you promise to bring it back, and no scraping the hull, I just got it nice and yellow, and no drinking on the boat, and no joyriding either.
Of course, ma'am. It's only for a day or two. Official police business.
Aye.
What if I want to rock?
See, that makes me not want to lend you my skiff. On a boat, rocking leads to capsizing. That there is an absolutely 100% rock-free skiff. You got that?
Was on that island, I saw some kind of ruins through the binoculars.
Used to be some kind of fortification there before the war. For the communards. An anti-aircraft gun, I think. Bombed to bits in the landing. I haven't been there myself. Always steered clear of it.
Hasn't been there herself. Who has then?
You said you haven't been there yourself. Who has then, if not you?
My husband used to drink there. Him and his drinking buddies. Always seemed like a bad place to drink to me. People died there during the landing, you know. My mother told me.
This must be one of the many fortifications that was used in the dying days of the revolution against coalition forces before they took this city.
The kids sometimes go there too. I know they do, on rafts. I tell them not to, but they bring back old bullet casings and such.
Which kids?
The twins. God forbid they bring the girl along on some rickety barge.
Can we maybe ask your twins about that place before we go? Would that be alright?
Be my guest. They've a strange way of talking. See if you can get anything useful out of them. I seldom do.
Is there anything there I should know about? Is there anything I should know about getting there?
Well, most of it's sunken. Underwater. That means concrete underwater. Cut your boat if you're not careful. Be sure to enter from the south side. Water's deep there.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Thank you. We'll use your skiff to get there then.
Please be conservative with the fuel, will you? Just filled her up, but it's a small tank.
Be seeing you.
The scruffy-haired little boy kicks a stone while the other watches him do it.
Okay, kids, you've been to that island, right?
On that island?
Yes, that one. I need to know what's there.
That's, nothing. It's just a seafort and some plants. You can take a raft there. It's great. And we make a fire. We make a fire. Gather the sticks for the fire. And bullets. Or not real bullets, empty bullets.
Bullet shells. There are a lot of them left over from the war, but this could be important.
Well, you mean shells.
I don't know what those are.
What then?
They're lights. The fire guy comes and asks us to put the fire out.
They must mean a human being on that island, but it's cut off.
Someone lives on the island.
No. Yes.
Let's go with yes.
Why is he the fire guy?
Because he asks to put the fire out.
Why does he ask you to put the fire out?
I don't know. He doesn't like it. He don't like people to be there. You shouldn't go. Yes.
You mentioned something about lights.
I don't know.
Did you mean there are electrical lights?
Yes.
Is there anything else you can tell me about this guy? Age? Does he live there?
No, he doesn't live there. I don't think. No, he lives there. Been there twice, 2 times. He doesn't live there. He isn't there sometimes.
Anything else? What does this guy look like?
I don't know.
How come?
We ran. He just yelled we shouldn't be there.
Your father used to go to that island too, didn't he?
Our father killed himself. Didn't say that, he didn't. I'm sorry.
Is that all you know? Is there anything more you can tell me about the island?
There's
Lights, fire guy. We should check up on that island.
Bye, kids. Take care.
A skiff with a small steering engine in the back floats on the calm mirror of the sea. Its 2 seats are empty. The boat's belly is a shiny yellow color, industrial paint over fresh tar. You see it reflect off the water, along with the factory number, A72. SRV made. This machine represents humanitarian aid from a workers' state on the Samaran Isola. The ROO logo on the engine gives it away. That and a white 5-pointed star. Once you get in, that's it. One pull of the starter handle, and you're off into the bay. A strange trepidation comes over you. Are you sure you want to go now? Have you made all the necessary preparations? Closed all your accounts? Remember what the netpicker said. It's a small tank. You won't be going back and forth on this.
You take the engine, Kim. I'll hold the boom box.
What?
What? How else do we blast Sad FM on our way to the island?
Fine. Let's blast Sad FM then.
Sad FM is a radio station specializing in sad, slow rock songs. You seem to know its frequency by heart.
This banged up old thing. It's a ROOA 72.
It'll float.
He's too banged up himself to talk with you. boat comes to a slow stop. The lieutenant turns the engine off. Then there's silence. In the silence, a sputter of wings. A flock of quails takes off in the distance. There is very little wind here today. The ghost is standing still. You look at your arms, then the cliffs above you. Let's go.
A makeshift bridge. The bombs were powerful enough to break the foundation. The rusted chain leads off into the ocean.
The chain trails off into the ocean, connecting the island to the supply depot on the coast.
This leads to the depot in Land's End.
Ah, yes, so it seems.
What do you think it was used for?
For bringing munitions to the island, maybe? And supplies? You could also lock the bay when you raise the chain.
As a defensive measure, lock it off that side of the bay.
Lock it from whom?
From enemies. Enemies of the commune of Revachol. This sea fort was a revolutionary fortification, I believe.
Some fuel has leaked out of the barrel. Black, viscous. There's a lingering trace of mazout in the air. Attention! Inflammable.
The dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea.
The barrel says ICM. You see a star with little white specks on it.
What is this flutter?
The flock of quail departs, now more than 100 meters away. 102, 105.
Underneath the flutter.
On the islet, there is almost no wind, just the light movement of air through the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline. Long dried leaves chafing against each other like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of some major work, of great importance to the few who attend.
To the west.
A silent hiss, sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree.
To the east.
The faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand, the low tide filtered through its grains, a bird tending to its feathers.
Ahead.
A low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, through its ancient slits and cracks, resonating, hollow. A big building.
Beyond that, further north.
Air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Absolute silence. Reeds motionless. Bulrushes motionless.
Below the silence.
A jitter. A sound impatient to happen, but not yet in this world. You hear some kind of limb fidget, producing an imperceptible tick. No, it's just your imagination. You can't hear such things.
Kim.
Yes?
Momentarily, the sounds are swept away. Pain shoots up your right foot and into your groin.
It's really fucking silent on this island.
It is. Is that why we are stopping?
Sorry. Let's move.
Cleaning out the rooms. What if you didn't lose your memory? What if something in Martinez came and stored it all away, for you to slowly open one box at a time, so you can choose which parts to keep? Keep almost none of it. Only the flowers on the windowsill. Only the distant sound of a radio. Lose all the actors, the dark shadows. Leave only the still lifes, the blissful distant wash of waves. If everybody knew, you never did. She'll be coming soon. That is all.
Little Birch from the coin-operated viewer, still holding on. No way to get up there. The stairs are gone. You see candles planted on a broken rangefinder. A moth-bitten bedsheet keeps the wind out. Dishes stained with sauce and fire. A survivor's kitchen. Books, mostly fantastique and historical fiction.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Where do the wires lead?
Downstairs, somewhere?
A hollow ring. The canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
What does this mean? A generator here?
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher.
I mean, why is it here?
Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy.
The wind outside picks up suddenly, with a faint howl. Inside, it's warm. The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
This was once an armament rest. Twin cannons were attached here. Medium distance, large caliber. Faln Arrower shirt.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft-cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracol blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
Do you think whoever slept here is...
A flash of pain interrupts you, making you wince instead of letting the words out.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
Maybe a little shut-eye. Just an hour.
You face the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there. You didn't realize how tired you were. Your body is still nowhere near healed. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close. Until you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening. Sleep.
The lieutenant is no longer here. Go outside, to the beach. The door is still here, closed. Feels strange somehow. You can't get in. Go down to the chain. There's something there. Walk into the water. Now, you see her footprints in the water. Further.
Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship airbag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry. Okay, don't say you need to talk right away. Melt the ice first. This way you're already talking, but you don't even want to talk to her. She would only be cold and mean. Let her go. Let her go. This is the Holy Queen of the territories of Muindi and Insulinda. Think of the historic knowledge we could glean. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win her back.
Can you stay for a moment? We need to talk. We need to have one more massive, epic showdown.
No, Harry. No. I don't want a massive, epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really, we don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us, our love, our unborn daughters, it's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Ravachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is.
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now.
But that's not a very good way for things to be.
It's not.
But what? Tell me there's something good.
I don't know why I said but. There is no but.
That's it.
That's it, yes. We've talked about it 1,000,000 times. You will get over it, just like I did. People do. Things will...
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything.
I'm not getting over it at all.
It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe? It was hard for me too, you know? I used to think I couldn't live without you. But I can.
She keeps her shoulders squared and her back straight, but it's clear you're still making her sad.
Your innocence, Dolores Day. I'm sorry I made you sad.
It's okay.
Okay then. Super okay. I still have other things I need to know.
What other things? We've been through all the things, Harry.
You always said I had a vast soul and you will always come back to me.
We both said a lot of things. We were very young.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote it, said those things.
Actually, you didn't say it. You wrote it in a letter, a handwritten letter. I kept it in my paperwork.
As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters.
You need to recite it to her, for effect. All of it. No summaries.
You know what I mean. You left me a letter saying you will always come back to me, that you can't believe how happy you are with me.
Okay, Harry. Okay. It was morning and you slept. The room smelled of cigarettes and Rowans. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left. It was autumn, the first one we had together. But you have to understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. No, it was 100,000,000 years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I'm no longer that person. This has taken her place. It will devour you. Harry, I will eat your mind.
The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below. It's still her. Her legs, her breasts, her hips.
I was cool?
The coolest. With your leather jacket and your boot-cut pants, smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. And you were. Some of it, at least. You were my first. My first kiss. My first time to have sex. The first and worst time I fell in love. I will always have that with me. It's a fact. But that is all it is. It's like a ticket stub, Harry. It doesn't do anything anymore.
What now? What happens now? What is the next thing we talk about?
Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If you do not feel like doing that, then you should let me go to the aerodrome.
Don't go.
No, don't say it. Don't beg. It will only make her go.
Wait, yes, I have other questions first. Where's the list?
Yes, somewhere hidden among the options popping up in your nervous system is the right one. That will make her love you again and not go to the aerodrome at all.
What happens now?
Nothing. I have to go. I'm gonna go now.
I was wrong. You don't have power over her anymore. You shouldn't have said that. I am wrong about everything. You should go on without me.
Okay. I understand.
No, you don't. You're just being a martyr. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight.
Will we ever see each other again?
I won't see you, but you will see me.
How can that be?
Oh, Harry. This is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? A year? 2? 5 years ago?
How will I see you again, then?
Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. There's the video rental. I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young, and I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum, like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness, after leaving you the first time, so long ago.
But this is intolerably bad.
Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death, or war, or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
You're up quick. How was your sleep?
My sleep was deep and invigorating.
Of course. I was just thinking maybe you've torn your stitches. Are you ready to move on?
Let's comb the entire island centimetre by centimetre. That's the next step in the task chain.
Okay.
He's still worried. You must have really threshed and squealed in your sleep.
Oh dear. It's glitched out a bit. Maybe I'll wear a different jacket.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized. Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures, popular depictions of man versus nature by amateur naturalists T&T Harpin, husband and wife. Widely read by people from all walks of life. Who doesn't like nature? Who doesn't want to survive? Among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories, you find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Not that you can tell. This is a digest of someone who's dead bored. Most of it is for entertainment purposes. Fittingly right next to the radiola on the floor.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Maybe it's a little old-fashioned. There's a nude mag. More than that, you can't say. The print in some of these is pretty small, though. This person has good eyesight.
This towy old scarf itches when wrapped around the neck. It has humanitarian aid written all over it. You know that thousands all over the East Solar are suffering the same fate as you. The fate of uncomfortable army surplus scarves. This great blast door, what must weigh over 10 tons, rust peels off it.
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small.
How do we open this?
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
You're right, we can open the big one. Do you see controls anywhere?
I think there's a console just southeast. Let's look around. Getting the blast door open seems like the best plan.
Careful, these stairs have collapsed.
Green paint flecks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet. There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
What is this then?
The console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here.
Could this open the blast door?
I think, yes. Let's see.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in. A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl.
After you.
I'm scared.
Don't be. I have a gun.
I also have a gun.
I know. It was not easy to acquire.
Let's go.
The hatch is jammed shut. Walk slow. It might be dangerous. Small white flowers blossom all around you. The rubber dinghy, it's deflated, broken.
An old man, wearing tracksuit trousers, leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth, then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours. Unclouded by cataracts, his eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Belle McGrath?
It's a Triangon 446.
Southeast Samaran made. Exotic. Must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Signal commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
Your weapon has stayed true to you. Mine has stayed true to me too.
Yes, I bet you've killed a lot of people with it. You fascist fuck. Have you come to make me one of them?
His right eye twitches. With what? Fear? Rage?
We have come to ask you questions, nothing more. If you do not comply, we will take you in. Do you understand?
The danger levels here are hard to read. One moment he's afire, the next, a fire gone out.
The Signal commune.
You heard me. It's good now, like chalk, white from the board.
He's right. Almost no one remembers there was a third metastasis of the World Revolution in the Safre Empire, extinguished in '06.
It's not wiped from the board. I remember it.
They wouldn't like hearing their name in your mouth. Damn dog.
The time will come to win his trust, comrade. It is not now. You need to take care of the gun first.
Sir, I need you to put that down that gun so we can talk further. We're with the police.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
I am an enemy commander of rank. Put it down.
The words, "I am an enemy commander," sound cold as iron from your lungs. The old man still hugs his gun.
And what rank would that be, dog?
Lieutenant Double Freighter.
A big wheel of the 4th Regiment of the Pederast Army. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? Your holdover from the...
From the Insulindian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in 07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in 08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
You've been on this island for 43 years.
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal.
What do you steal?
Supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He does seem frail. Good for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
Thank you for clearing that up.
He looks at you, his face parched from the sun and the wind. There's a wince of pain in there somewhere.
How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course, Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How did you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
The weapons cache under Sanki's Lane 22B in the basement. Have you been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
They were damaged beyond use.
I know.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
There's a small bunker under the Fell building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Killed themselves?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
Tell me another thing.
The old man looks across the water, at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
So you're a communist soldier from the communist army?
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
But you said you were trained and assigned to the Defense Corps.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
Means you're a trained communist, right?
He nods slowly, then another tremor.
I'm also a communist.
No, you're not. You're a liberast.
Liberast?
A liberal and a pederast. It's what most liberals are.
I'm not a liberal. I told you I'm a communist.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology. We have come to ask questions regarding a murder investigation.
The old man spits into the fire pit. He does not say anything more. A jitter passes his lower body. The expression on his face is unreadable. There's some sort of interference there. Neurological. There's definitely something off with his body. Something more than just metabolism, or even cancer.
You said this is your termless surrender.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. A so-called Lieutenant W. Freighter.
We're not coalition appointed. We just try to help people.
You're the RCM. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans ce monde. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
You never signed the Revacholian Instrument of Surrender.
Only the army. Liberal reactionaries signed it for them. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I am a political commissar of the Communist Party, and the party never surrendered.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
He just wipes the blood from his chin.
Understood.
I don't think you did. You live in a delusion. Radio shows, speed racing, and sporting goods. It's not real.
Again, you've been in hiding here for 43 years.
43 years and 10 months.
That's the length of my entire life.
It's too long. It's not how a human being should live. But I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't.
You couldn't give up.
He nods. But he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. Two police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution.
I dare not dream anymore.
Good. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
What has he done? Perhaps a confession would lighten the load.
What have you done, then?
Yes, what? To get things going again? Fan the flame?
There is no flame to fan. There is nothing left of the world, of our dreams.
I have another serious question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. For a man who spent 44 years hidden in the urban wild.
He is surprisingly okay.
Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
Animated? By what?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. Great leaps of emotion, from anger to grief, despair.
Dementia?
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile.
Wouldn't a foul temper be a byproduct of his life?
Perhaps, but his seems more than that. The inner turmoil takes unexpected turns, as if forced on him in a way. In summary, you sense some underlying neurological disorder.
Mr. Dross, are you okay? How is your memory?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course.
What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
So you're saying you killed people after active fighting stopped?
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor Cranell?
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
The fascist death squad who took a bullet in the mouth on the night of March 4th.
Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember. Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
You're a communist. I talked to the dead man. He told me communism killed him.
Stupid twat.
The lieutenant looks at you with worry in his eyes. Not this, he seems to say. Anything but this.
It was intuition. Had he spoken, he would have said communism killed him.
Intuition is an aberrant psychologism. It reeks of crypto-fascism. The parasite class use intuition to justify their rank in life. It's all just palmistry and magic, Earl creatures. Your brain is rotting from the radio waves.
He does not answer the provocation. It does not look like he thinks this approach worked. Yeah, this just did nothing. But still, somehow you knew it was a communist.
Is this the miracle?
No, the miracle is still awaiting. This is the darkness.
Standing there, slack-jawed, brain festering.
Okay, let's back off for a moment. Tell me this.
You're lost, Dwat. lost?
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stopped and patched in places with tape and wire. The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangon, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
Is as he said, it's a Triangon made in Sinyao.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does.
This uses jacketed ammunition. 4.46.
The right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It can be used against him later.
One more time, Mr. Dross. The Colonel. We need to talk about you killing him.
Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you types.
A drop of blood in the saliva. Tear into him again. Pile it on him.
I don't need your cooperation. I've got this.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistols. I've seen you prance around with those. Jumping hoops for the liberals. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons, eh? Going against automatic rifles with a flame bomb. Of course you got all those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Stop changing the subject. We have the murder weapon.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
You think we have the murder weapon?
4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it.
I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon.
Good.
Yeah, you have yours. I'm a while yet, sorry. That's alright. I'll do my best.
This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
Like a marionette on some invisible string. This pushed him, but not enough. Just a little more.
Come on, what am I forgetting?
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Oh, yes.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols from the war. Nowhere else, nowhere in all of Martinaise have you seen them this spring. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Of course, thank you, Ed, thank you.
You got it. Remember, the boot prints were like no modern soul. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal. Nothing else comes up. You see the lieutenant watch you. Try to stimulate thought processes by hitting yourself.
Officer, a word?
Excuse us for a moment, Mr. Dross.
I think we may have this.
Do you think he did it?
From nothing to this in a day. This is good, Lieutenant Gefreiter. We just need a confession first, and then maybe a solid motive later.
What am I missing? What haven't I done?
Ballistics. Let him cook here for a minute or two. We can have another look around the island for a sniper's nest. I think we should check out the post.
It doesn't have to hold in court. Just establish a line of sight, and he'll do the rest himself.
Okay, let's do this.
Remember, he wants to tell us, but he doesn't want to help us. It needs to look like we already have everything.
There is palpable excitement in his tone. He likes him for this. A lot. But there's something more, too. He thinks the deserter has more than just this case in him. 44 years here.
You think he has more than this case?
Oh, yes. And he hasn't spoken to anybody in a long time. If we get him open, who knows what will pour out.
I'm coming to a conclusion, chat, that we actually had more in this game left than I thought. And I feel... I know, you know what, I said this was... Because actually, given I forgot how big the island is, and I feel like there's like another hour or so left to go, at least, and I might have been over optimistic. I'll be honest, it's not so much I'm tired, it's that I mean, I am a bit tired. Hang on a sec. I feel like an absolute shit because everyone's sent these lovely messages for the last stream, and
They can send them again.
sorry.
They can send them again, or you can just read them again. Save them and then read them again.
Yeah, I'm not okay. I'm not gonna do any more Ko-fi reading. I'm gonna keep the Ko-fis for another. Oh goodness, hang on. Maddie, sorry to pop this to you live on stream. Are you free tomorrow night at 8? Because I'm like, because the thing is, next Friday there's a thing for a convention. I don't want to. The end of this has been so chopped up that. Alternatively, it's been suggested that there's a 10 to 20. That I just take a 10 to 20 minute dinner break.
There's actually next Friday. We're actually not. It's just Saturday, Sunday. Our convention next week, but it depends how much.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, so not tomorrow. You know what? If you're up for it, yeah, if you're up for it, Maddie, I'm just gonna take a 20-minute break, and then come back to finish this. Yeah. Okay, all right, we're vibing. Let's go. So it's a break time.
I think that's the best idea.
Yeah, agreed. Yep. All right. So I will see you all in about 20 minutes.